Hello. The God I describe has no special abilities or superpowers. There is no sense to pray or worship him. It's a kind of God that needs to be investigated and tested instead. A kind of God that the great dreamers Isaac Newton and Albert Einstein were trying to understand, but were not lucky enough. A kind of God that might let us build the theory of everything. I already mentioned this God in one of my previous videos. I will expand those ideas today. I understand that not everybody wants to hear what I'm going to describe. Some people have their own favorite God. Some people believe that there should be no any God at all as he is dangerous. Relax, my version of God does not tell you what exactly you should and should not do. Instead it might explain you, who you really are and how and why you appeared. And what can make you happy. So let's start. Per my assumption, the universe we live in is actually not our. We are not fundamental beings of this universe. Imagine a football team. It consists of players, who play together to achieve common goal. Is football team fundamental? No, it's not. Team consists of players. The same way we consist of cells, separate beings that have their own DNA. We are colonies of cells. The same way those cells consist of smaller beings, molecules. Cell is colony of molecules. The same way molecule is a colony of atoms, atom is a colony of elementary particles. And as I assumed in one of my previous videos, elementary particle consists of equal quantums of energy and has very much common with Turing machine with cyclic tape. So per my assumption, elementary particle is a colony of quantums of energy. Please watch that video if you need details. Link to that video is in the upper right corner now. Those quantums of energy do not consist of anything. They are the fundamental beings of this universe. Primitive conscious discrete machines with free will. Their action always equals to reduced Planck's constant of action. I've explained what exactly I mean when I say that those beings are conscious in one of my previous videos. Link to that video is in the upper right corner now. So per my assumption, our universe consists of simple discrete machines, which execute their algorithm. Everything that surrounds us, everything we see including the photons that interact with our eyes are combinations of those discrete machines. Who is God within this model? Well, that depends on how exactly those discrete machines appeared. If all of them appeared at the same moment of time, then all of them are God. If universe started from one discrete machine, which could make its copies, then that is the God. I can't know exact answer at the moment. Investigations needed. As I've shown in another video, there is no any reason to believe that space expands and therefore there is no reason for Big Bang to exist. Instead, the cosmological red shift can be explained by electromagnetic radiation or slow annihilation of every elementary particle. Link to that video is in the upper right corner now. As there is no reason to believe in a Big Bang, this universe may appear to be much older than 13.8 billion years old. Maybe its age is trillions of years, and maybe all that time the total amount of matter and energy in it was slowly growing from the first quantum of energy to everything we see around us now. As that speed is very low, we do not observe it. Or maybe observe, but don't identify. But that's only my blind assumption. Something I would expect to be a reasonable explanation. Otherwise we would need to explain why all matter and energy of universe appeared at once. Maybe future will show the answer. Someone would definitely ask, why I call those beings God? Shouldn't God be all-powerful, all good, etc.? My answer is, why shouldn't I call them God? I think they match the definition in some sense. The God I describe is only the first reason, creator, of everything and the lawgiver. And there are religions like pantheism, which call all the universe God, so my version of God is not unique in this sense. Maybe there is another creator outside of our universe, maybe we are simulation launched by another simulation, but I can't know anything about that even in principle, therefore cannot speak about that. I can speak only about algorithm of this universe. So I call God the being that I can make testable assumptions about and that can be called reason. I assume that every fundamental being follows the same primitive algorithm, at least I hope so. If algorithms can differ, it will be much harder to find them. Beings can combine together to create new combinations of matter and new algorithms. Not necessary intentionally. Specific combinations of matter just appear to have specific algorithm. Just like in Convey's game of life, but with different, more complex rules, physics is statistics of those algorithms' execution. I have a video on that. Link to that video is in the upper right corner now. Evolution is a global process and biological evolution is only one specific example of the global process. Evolution can also be called the continuous creation of the world. What exactly is being created by evolution? New algorithms are being created when specific new combination of matter appears. Good example of such algorithm that appeared on Earth about 4 billion of years ago, is the self-copying of complex combinations of matter. We call it life. Algorithm of being is copied when new being is created. Algorithm is stored in DNA, RNA etc. Organisms with more optimal algorithms have higher chances for survival. Better algorithm is an evolutionary advantage of organism. I can assure you in that as a programmer. Writing better algorithms is actually what I do for living. Per my assumption, the algorithm of behavior affects the process of evolution much more than the environment changes. This is the key difference between the theory I describe and the currently accepted theory of evolution. In future videos I will try to show that algorithms actually lead the evolution, not adaptation. And sex selection is only one simple example of that. Environment adaptation leads only to micro changes, but appearance of new algorithm that gives advantages to its owner leads to macro evolution, revolution. For example, any being with eyes of any level of complexity have huge advantage over beings without eyes, and therefore can survive despite some other disadvantages it can get. So the survival pressure appears to be lower for those beings and they can evolve fast, as they don't have to fight for survival. That starts revolution and new species appear fast. Revolution stops only when the algorithm that caused it is not an advantage anymore. This is how creation of algorithms allows evolution boosts. Just to remind you, Darwinian survival of the fittest do not explain evolution boosts. One of advantages that specific algorithms can give the being is the speed of evolution in general. The faster you evolve, the faster you adapt to environment changes. There are several mechanisms that can speed up the evolution. One of those mechanisms that we all know is sexual reproduction, which lets beings share their mutations with the rest of population and to have populations in general. When we speak about algorithms, there are other possible boosts. And we can see that some of those boosts are already implemented by some of species on our planet, including us. I will describe some of them in separate videos. And will mention the one that made us, humans, successful just now. We are the beings that got an algorithm that lets us evolve faster than any other beings. We can give that algorithm different names. Irrationality, subjectivity, free will. Our algorithm let us launch separate, artifactual evolution. We got ability to evolve not by changing information in our DNA, but by changing our knowledge. We launched evolution of culture. Progress. There are specific mechanisms that stand behind the algorithm that made us successful. I believe Christianity describes them as the personal God of each human. Those are some parts of our brain that generate our wishes, that praise us with happiness for correct behavior and punish us with depression for incorrect behavior. Details will be provided in separate videos. So, according to this model, our universe was created by simple beings, not by super creature. Therefore there is no one that can help you other than you, other humans and luck. Complexity of the world is not in the past, it's in the future. When you speak with God in your prayers, you actually speak with yourself. Only you can change your life for better, but your personal God can give you additional power for that. People call that hope, Motivation, placebo. The purpose of all matter according to this model is algorithm execution. Our high-level algorithm is to build a better world, change the world for better, as we see it. During our life, not after death. Only because our ancestors got this algorithm, they could create tools, weapons, science, culture. Because our ancestors were lucky enough to love changes sometimes. God is not good or bad. It's just discrete machine. As a result, there is nothing really bad and good in this universe, there is only something that we like or don't like. Because we all share common DNA and therefore common instructions, the majority of us likes common things. And that's what we call morality. So in some sense, according to my model, God and his copies gave us morality during the creation process. Much if not everything I describe is testable and logically explainable. But the main idea is already mentioned. To evolve fast, you need to speed up evolution. The faster you evolve, the more likely you get advantages as a group. The faster you get tools and weapons, the faster you become the leading species on the planet. And to evolve fast, you need to be a little bit irrational. And I have evidence for that in one of my previous videos. Link to that video is in the upper right corner now. The described model will be the first scientific, disprovable model of God. Something that humanity did not hope to achieve. It answers the question why. A question, which is almost forbidden these days. And you are among quite small group of people who see it first. You can be really proud of yourself. Even if it's wrong, it's still a step forward. Real attempt to get closer to truth. I have much more to describe. We could try to build something beautiful. I will do what I can and while I can. Unfortunately, not everything depends on me. It depends on you too. In fact, everything depends on you now. You see, you are the humans I mentioned in this video. You are the only ones who can help. If you like the story, if you need the rest of it, press the like button so YouTube shows this video to more people. This way I will have more chances to finish this story. You see, your likes, views, subscriptions are the only evidences I can have at the moment. Without you, nobody will really listen to this story. Nobody will launch the experiments. Why would they? They are fine. They can safely investigate the Big Bang that never happened forever. Why would they try to change anything if they don't have to? Sad but true. Now you have a great chance to change the world for better. Thank you for your attention.